Hello, LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and Twitch. My name is Frank Lavinia, and wanted to share something that came across my desk. Let's see if I can. Whoops. So, as you all know, I'm a big fan of online training, et cetera, et cetera, and I have LinkedIn Learning. One of the many perks of being a Microsoft employee. Let's see if I can get this Chrome tab here. That's not it. Application window. There we go. I'll share that application window and I'll put it up right here. And this is oh, cool. All right. Still working. They keep upgrading the software. So hopefully you like the new graphic intro. I've been kind of burning the midnight oil here, coming up with some video stingers and stuff for Andy and I's secret project. Mark Taylor, awesome. What are we talking about today? I love it, Mark. Straight and to the point. We are going to, first off, I'm going to see if I can overlay the chat. And so we are talking about an interesting concept that kind of came across. I mean, it's not really new because I mean it's been a thing for a while. See if I can maximize that. It's basically this LinkedIn Learning class. So if you don't have LinkedIn Learning, I highly recommend you get it because it's all right. As you can see, I'm bouncing around this. But ultimately, what's really cool about this LinkedIn Learning class is that they've been you know, it's just an interesting approach here because I haven't watched the whole course yet, but I'm definitely going to watch it. I'll probably talk about it in tomorrow's stream that I'll probably do for my car. But ultimately, unless the weather's nice, then I'll do it outside while the kids are in class. But it's basically kind of talking about how everything as a service. Now, this has kind of been a joke. A former colleague of mine, Joel, he would use this as a joke, kind of like X as a service. But I'm seeing this more and more, and I don't think people fully grasp this idea. I mean, this has certainly kind of come across my desk and so to speak, and it's been something of interest to me. But the whole notion that somebody can, with limited resources, just spin up some cloud services, tack on a payment system next to it, and launch a whole business that could solve a problem, that is very exciting. It's very it just, if you're in the startup space, I mean, I don't know. If you think about Uber, right? What is Uber but nothing but a car as a service, right? Lyft, I mean, the same type of idea. Instacart, right? Personal shoppers as a service. This kind of came to me this week because earlier this week I was on a call and I referred to Databricks as cluster computing as a service, right? And Databricks is a great service because you can spin up any number of devices and servers to chew through your big data problem or your machine learning problem. And that's truly the genius here, because at one point somebody had to stand up Hadoop servers, right? When I first get into AI and data, I was playing around with HD Insight, which was it stood up a bunch of virtual machines, which that wasn't so bad. But as I was kind of doing the creating the courseware and the training for it, my first thought was, I'd have to hate to be the guy or gal that has to maintain and feed these things. That just sounds like a flippin' nightmare. Pardon my French. It's Friday. All right. So another comment from Mark. Oh yeah, I'm so I'm never too busy to help customers or learn. I'm always in a hurry to learn. Wait, no. There's actually a Grant Cardone quote that I heard where something about I'm desperate to learn, which I think is kind of a great mindset to have. So to that end, I've actually hit 107 consecutive days of taking classes on Pluralsight, which is I don't know. I mean, it's not quite winning a Nobel Prize, but for me, I love how Pluralsight, and let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video just on this. I love how Pluralsight is gamified the learning process. It's something I really wish LinkedIn would do. LinkedIn Learning would do. I mean, they have this kind of thing like you set your own personal goals, but I won a badge today because I hit so many hours for 2021 or something like that. It's stupid, but it's get that little bit of dopamine hit. Just makes you want to do it one more day, and that's all it takes, Hadoop and Pig, yes, yes. Well, that's true. Um, Another comment from Mark. Mark is on fire with the comments, man. You rock, Mark. Got to get you on in this live stream. And don't worry, I have the quarantine hair. I got my hat, my max out hat. Yeah, I mean, he's right. So if you're not familiar with these terms, Hadoop was really the groundbreaking big data tool of the 2000s and early 2010s. And there was another language called Pig, or another environment called Pig, and effectively the language for it was known as Pig Latin. And I actually did all the classes that Wintellect now has on in this generation of technology. So, but I mean, Databricks is faster for several reasons. One, Apache Spark is going to be faster because Spark was built in an age where there was much more in memory processing. So memory became cheaper. So if you think about the last 15 years of technology, right? The price of RAM came down, the price of storage came down, not necessarily in that order, but as more and more data was stored, Hadoop works very much like a file system and disk based. What Spark does is it does a lot of the warm work in memory. So just right there, you're going to get a performance boost. What's interesting about Databricks is that a lot of the folks that created Spark, the Spark engine, also they started Databricks. So they have really good familiarity with the engine and can eke like every bit of performance out of it. So as I like to say, the best way to run through big data queries is with Spark, and the best way to run Spark is on Azure Databricks. Obviously, the other cloud provider has a version of Databricks too, but Microsoft and Databricks came up with a really in-depth partnership to kind of create the best solution, the best of Databricks onto that runs on Azure, takes advantage of all the Azure functionality and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Azure Databricks is where it's at in terms of distributed cluster computing. Not to say Synapse isn't kind of a big deal too, but that's a bit more of a nuanced conversation, more nuanced than I'm willing to do on a Friday afternoon. So, but yeah, getting back to this course, I'll probably do a full review, but it looks interesting in the idea. The whole economics have changed, and it's not just COVID, although I think COVID was kind of an accelerant on this space. But ultimately, the whole idea of, I mean, for instance, it would be nice if I could, have some of my social media posts handled by some kind of SaaS platform, right? Like, and do all the tracking and things like that. As you know, I'm quite a frequent blogger. If we go to franksworld.com, you will see just how frequent I have been blogging. And of course, it's going to take forever. Kids are probably playing video games upstairs. But I really like this course. I know I mentioned Pluralsight, but I watch almost as much LinkedIn Learning. My one wish is that I would be able to watch LinkedIn Learning on the television while I'm on a treadmill or something like that. I mean, obviously I can always broadcast my screen, but I do wish that they had that. They have really good courses just on every bits of technology. But what I've noticed is that of late, they've really switched to kind of the softer skills, dealing with stress in a pandemic or working remotely tips and things like that. So I really like the kind of the shift. Obviously, there's also technology stuff too. I've also noticed a pattern is that some of these courses are smaller. Now, I'm not sure if that's a conscious kind of technical decision. Let's see if I can maximize that. If that's a conscious technical decision, or is it just they just don't have enough content? And shame on me, man. This has been out for months and I haven't watched it yet. So thank you, algorithm. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. But ultimately, what I really like about this is that, there's a lot of technology trends, and it's just fascinating. I'm just fascinated by the opportunities and the that this affords in the economic and kind of startup space. Just amazing. So with that, it is time for me to go soon. So if you have any questions, let me know. I will be doing a live stream tomorrow. I'll be watching this course probably for the next like half hour or so, maybe as I work out. Who knows? But just wanted to say thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in live. Mark, as always, awesome for tuning in. That's all I got. Hopefully, you all have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow on a live stream, and I'll be talking about what should I talk about? Should I do another book review? Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll do another book review tomorrow. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see in the stream. Thank you, Mark, for commenting in real time. I am always experimenting and trying to improve the feed with fancier graphics and stuff like that. If you want to reach out to me, feel free to ping me on Twitter, although I don't check Twitter as much as I used to. But you can definitely find me there. Best place to find me, honestly, is probably either comment on the video on YouTube or just hit me up on LinkedIn. As always, I'm excited to help people learn, and Andy and I will soon be able to make a more of a formal announcement on what our secret project is we keep referring to. So with that, have a great day.